Oh. Hey everyone, this is Carla. Welcome to an all new episode of Projectized, the project management show, where we discuss three things: the business of project management, how businesses use project management, and I'm Pastor an idol with over 14 years experience in project management, big data, and IT service management. So I got this off of Jen's Near Now, and it talks about uh, regarding the tech industry. It says project failure rates may be larger than you expected, especially in the tech industry where Internet of Things projects fail at a massive 75%, with every 3 out of 4 projects never making it. For project managers, the daily reality of their role includes quickly turning the unexpected around and dealing with doing damage control as efficiently as possible, which is true, and that's outside of Internet of Things because 90% of your job as a project manager is communication. So that is very important. But what this article recommends is first, small focus on the small stuff. As soon as you see little problems coming up, correct them, and they should be done immediately. And I know that people hate micromanaging, but you don't want small problems to snowball and become bigger problems and catch the radars of shareholders and stakeholders and people who are looking at your project. So that's the first thing. Next is implement an efficient project management system. So in the article, because it's dealing with the Internet of Things, they mention agile project management. However, what I want to tell you is that there are 5 development approaches. There's predictive, which you also call waterfall, traditional project management. There's iterative, incremental, agile, and then there's a hybrid, which is a combination of the four. So find your development approach for project management, whatever you choose. Make sure it's right for you, your company, as well as your current project. The third thing that they say is shift your focus back on needs and must. One of the things that happens in project management is a concept called scope creep, and scope creep is unauthorized changes. Another phrase that gets tossed around is goal planning. So, what normally happens is when you and your project team work and you are ahead of schedule or you're under budget and you want to impress the performing organization or your sponsor by gold plating it and making it shiny. You have to realize that that is unauthorized changes. That's a waste of time, money, and resources. That's something that you as the project manager and your team should avoid at all costs. I bring up scope creep because sometimes in agile, gold plating is encouraged, but then that also means that you're changing what the release and the increment is, and that some things that's not what the company and management is asking for. So as a project manager, regardless of wherever whatever development approach you use, just make sure that you don't do scope creep because scope creep is very bad, and unauthorized changes leads to a lot of wasted time, money, resources, and that's not good for you as a project manager. And then it says position yourself for success with the right tools and techniques. Um, that's very important. What I also would say is as a project manager, most of the time you're not a first line supervisor, so you don't have position power, but through negotiation, networking with others, you and your team could have certain stakeholders champion you, and that's a way of getting what you really want. The article continues, and this is this last point. Finally, once you determine the cause of how your project is failing or falling behind, bear in mind that the same approach that steered it off track the first time is probably going to have the same effect all over again, which is very important because the thing about it is you get your project back on track, and then you do the same thing that got it in there. So that means that you need change management. You need better lessons learned to write down what went well, what didn't go well, so that you can do more of what's right and going well versus what's wrong. And like the article said, and I agree with, by focusing and doing lessons learned and looking at what you're doing right and not putting yourself back in the predicament with the same thinking, that's a way of positioning yourself for success with the right tools. And that comes from, once again, they highlight a strong communication plan. Like I said earlier in this episode, 90% of your job as a project manager is communication. And it's very important that you communicate with the stakeholders, your team, and everybody involved what you're doing to correct it, to get it back on track, and to keep it back on track. So that concludes this episode of Projectized and how to steer your projects right when they go wrong. Once again, my name is Carl R. Jenkins, certified project management professional, certified Scrum Master and IDOL with 14 years experience in project management, big data, and IT service management. Moreover, if you need help, if you need help you can get in touch with me at carlarjenkins.com/contact. Moreover, if you are interested in passing the project management professional certification, the exam changes this July 1st. You need help in that, I can help because I'm certified. I'd like to thank everyone. And once again, I give shout outs at the end for those who are live. So I would like to thank Hypey from YouTube Live for coming live, because the last time I was on Lula, I did Instagram Live. So I would like to thank everyone for watching.